Hi everyone. So, after the last two videos, now you already probably have Python installed in your system, and also you have some code editor in your system, right? It might not be VS code editor that I have shown in the last video, but you have at least something to start with. Now, today it would be a very important thing because today we wanna actually start with understanding the terminal or the command prompt. So I know that a lot of my friends who are not from computer background, they are very apprehensive about using command prompt or terminal, but actually command prompt would be your friend if you are gonna do a lot of coding, a lot of programming, because it would give you much more flexibility, much more control over your system that a GUI or graphical user interface doesn't provide you. Obviously there's lot to it, lot to learn about how to use terminals and command prompt, but I won't go over everything and anything in this particular video, and there would be a lot of things that you would learn as we go along in the later videos as well. Today what I would show you is basically just a few comments, just a few tricks and tips that will help you to start along, at least that will help you to just do some navigation, just actually open an application and just start working with command prompt or terminal, and just get the fears basically away, right? So you don't have to fear command prompt or terminal anymore. Okay, so first, how do we start it? So if you are like me in a Windows system, you can just directly search command prompt in the search bar and you would have it. And if you in a Mac OS or Linux system, Linux might be like you might be in Ubuntu or something, something similar. Then you can just directly do a hotkey like Control Alt T. That's the hotkey for terminal. Or you could also just search for terminal in your applications, right? It's easy to find. Okay, now once you actually open up, you would have something like this. It would be almost similar for Mac OS or Windows. Now here you would see that there's already some information that is written, right? First of all, Microsoft Windows version, etc, etc, and then you have something, some information, and then there's a cursor which is blinking. We call it usually a prompt, right? So this is usually a prompt, and whenever it is written or whenever you see this cursor blinking and this prompt, you say okay, it is now free to execute your command. So you might be actually trying to basically run a code, and the way you understand that the code has completed, or your system has executed the code, that the way to understand that is when you actually get to see this prompt, right? So it is actually a very useful thing to see. And right now usually what it show, obviously you can change it, but usually it shows you the location of where you are currently at the moment. And this is a very very important information for you to know, because anything in your application, anything in your terminal that you want to do, you need to understand where you are at the current moment. Okay, so this is basically how it shows, but obviously there are other ways to actually know how to do that, how to know where you are in your current system. Usually you are in the system's path where command prompt is installed, but it could be anywhere else as well. So how do you check it? In Windows you can just write cd, it's a command cd, which stands for change directory. And I know just by the meaning it basically says okay, it help you to change a directory or folder. But if you do not mention anything else after cd, if you just type cd and press enter, which is how basically you return any command, you execute any command in command prompt, you would see that it will return you the information like where you are, your current location. If you are in Mac OS or Linux, you could do this thing like actually typing cd without anything else. Or you could also type pwd, which doesn't work in Windows, but in Linux you could also write pwd, which stands for print working directory, and it would work in Linux or Mac OS, but obviously it doesn't work in window. So if I write pwd, it will tell me pwd is not recognized as an internal or external comment. Okay, so this is also something that you need to understand, the errors, right? So anytime any error comes up, it actually tells you more about what is happening, why whatever you are trying to execute doesn't run. So if you got an error, don't be disheartened. It actually shows you the path about where your errors might be. Right now, as you can see, right, when I actually did pwd, as I said, like, it is for Linux or Mac OS systems. But if I actually type pwd in my Windows and try to return it, it would say pwd is not recognized as an internal or external command. Anyway, you now know how to basically know the information about where you are. Can you change that? Can you navigate to somewhere else? Obviously you can. Say obviously you can understand that I am in my C drive, and I am in a folder called users, and then under the users there's another folder called Sora where I am right now. So if I want to change my drive, say, let's say from C drive I want to go to D drive, there are two ways to do that. One thing I will show you from the terminal itself. From you can just type D in caps, because that is the name of my drive, and then put a colon, and you could do press enter. And as you can see, my prompt has changed, and it basically shows you D drive. And again, if I just type cd to just know where I am right now, it will show me that I am in D drive. So this is how you change drive. So if I have just C drive and D drive in my system, but if you have multiple drives, this is the first way of basically navigating from one drive to another drive. Wherever you are in your drive location, you might be under one folder, another folder, another folder, another folder, but wherever you are, if you just write this, you can change the drives. Okay, now I can change drives, okay, but then can I actually go to some folders? How do I go to folders? Because that's how you use in GUI, right? So if I just showcase you in my D drive, let's actually open my file explorer, and let's actually open my PC, where you can actually understand. Okay, so this is my PC. As you can see, I have C drive, D drive, and if I go to D drive, there are so many folders, right? So many folders that I can go to. How would I go there? Go in some specific place. Let's just start with first creating one folder for just this purpose. Again, the command is mkdir, which stands for make directory. Very easy to remember, mkdir. And then let me write some name for my folder. Let's say demo. Okay, just demo, nothing else. So I have written mkdir, given a space, and written demo. So mkdir stands for make a directory. It's a command, and demo is the name of the folder. Just writing it, and you see that your prompt has returned. So has been executed. So now if I actually showcase you, if I go to D drive, you should be able to see something called demo. As you can see in the last file, this is a demo. In new volume D, there's a demo folder that has been opened. Now, how do I actually go to there? You saw how I went there just by clicking it. That's the GUI way. But I can go it from terminal as well. I can just write cd. If you remember, cd stands for change directory. And I can do demo. Voila. Now you see it is showing me d:/demo. So right now I am inside demo folder. So why this changing directory is so interesting? Because this is how you go towards, say for example, you have some file in demo, right? And if you have some file, you want to access that file, usually you have to browse to that folder, you have to open that folder, go inside it, and then you can actually open that file, right? So this navigation is very, very important, and cd, change directory, let you do that. Okay, so you understand about cd. Now cd can be changed with more absolute path. What do I mean by absolute path? So right now I have nothing but demo itself, but if I say have a folder, again inside that folder there's another folder, inside that folder there's another folder. If I have so many things like that, I can do a chained command where I would just go directly to certain places, certain folders. And usually there are some tricks to it, like say for example dot. If you just write dot, it usually means that you want to do it in the current folder. Then if you want to go back, usually you put two dots after cd. Like right now I am in the demo folder, so if I write just cd dot dot, I will go back to the D drive, right? So cd dot dot represents going back one step. Again, let's go to demo once more. Again, I am inside demo. Now you also can use slash, so you know that in a path, so path basically means like where your location is. In that particular order, if you put the folder structures, say if you are inside A, then inside B, then inside C, you could write something like okay cd A, then under A you have a folder B, under B you have folder C, and you can go on like this, right? So this is how you can navigate to very specific folders if you have a lot of hierarchy, a lot of structure in it. Okay, a lot about cd, and we have also covered mkdir. Then the last thing, not last in terms of the terminal comments, but at least last thing that I want to show you is another very useful comment, that is dir. And dir basically is a command which just stands for directory. Its equivalent, its Mac OS or Linux equivalent is ls. Just remember ls, L for lasagne and S for stand up. So ls, you can write ls or dir, and it will show you all the directories that are all the folders that are in your current position. So inside demo, it's a blank folder, it's a new folder, as you have seen. There's nothing in it. So if I just do dir inside demo right now, it will show me 0 files, right? As you can see, directory of D, demo, and you would see like there's nothing here, right? So let's make something. And before we make something, let's actually give you another taste of what you can do with this terminal window, where we can use it to open applications as well. So you have probably installed VS Code with me in the last video, right? So to open VS Code through terminal window to a particular location, you could write code, nothing but code, and put a dot. Why this dot? As I told you just a couple of minutes back, that if you just put dot, it means that you want this application to open in the current folder, current location where you are right now. So if I write code and just a dot, it will mean that I will be opening VS Code inside this demo folder. If I did double dot, it would have meant like I want to go back one step and there I want to open my VS Code. Anyway, I want to open it inside demo. So I write code dot, and if I just press enter, you would see that my VS Code has started, and we are under demo. You could see like there's a explorer in VS Code where you could see all the file folder structure, and we are under demo, right? Okay, let's create some file over here. So it's also your first time probably in VS Code, so we would go very easy. It won't be a code file. So you could see there are some icons over here. So this left icon, if you just hover over it, it would say new file, right? Or you could just start a new file from here as well. But anyway, just click on it for a new file. It would just tell you to name your file. So let me give name to it, like my underscore file dot txt. Okay, so a very good trick or tip would be always provide extension name whenever you are working in VS Code. So if you are creating a file in VS Code, try to provide a extension. So you know .txt is an extension for text files, and once I actually press enter, you see that it has been opened, right? So there's a myfile.txt that has opened, And as I said, a code editor is basically just a specific kind of text editor, right? So I can write something like I am demonstrating how to use terminals and save this particular files. For saving, you could do just Control S, or you could actually go to file and save as well, right? And it would also show you that okay, this is how you can save, Control plus S. Anyway, I have actually saved a txt file, right? So let me actually close this whole VS Code now. I have one file. I have actually created one file. Let me save and close. Okay. Now, if I just open my demo folder, you should be able to see one text file, right? Here it is, as you can see. Can we actually see it right now? So as I said, dir is the command to see all the files and folders in a location. So we are currently inside demo. If we just go back a little bit and come back again. So here I would want to show you one thing, how to change cd commands, just as I talked to you before. So now we are in the D drive itself, right? We have gone back. So we are in the location, just the D drive. Now we can directly write cd demo and then a slash. And if I now start writing something, if there was a folder, I would have been actually able to do that. So this is how basically you chain a cd command. Anyway, now let's again go back to demo. And if I now, what was the name I have given it? Let's see, I have given myfile.txt, right? Myfile.txt. So one thing is you can just directly write it, and if I just do open, it actually starts to open and it actually tells me, okay, how do you want to open this file, right? So you could open this through notepad or something like this. So this is just a Windows thing where you for the first time when you are trying to open something, it asks you how you, or which application you basically use for it. Say for example, if I say notepad, and always use notepad for .txt files, so you can see it has opened in notepad. I am demonstrating how to use terminals. Again, let me actually show it again, just for your clarity. Okay, again a tip: if you are in the terminal, if you use the up arrow key, it will show you the previous command. So that's a very neat trick to actually save some amount of time. So just one press, it will show me cd and all these files, right? All these previous comments you could see. Anyway, so if I now press again myfile.txt, it should directly open, right? Okay, now let's actually show another thing, that is the dir, where I told you that it should actually show me all the files and folders that are in a current position. So if I put dir, okay, now you could see one file, right? And you could also see the myfile.txt, the size of it and everything, the time when it was made, everything. So if you look at the previous result, it told you that there are 0 files and 0 bytes, but now it tells you there are one file which is 40 bytes, right? So this is how you can use dir, this is how you can use cd, and this is also how you can use normal command prompt to you to basically open an application. As I shown you, you could just write code, and it will basically open a VS Code editor for you. As I have shown you, you could just write the name of the text file and it would open the txt file for you as well, right? And the last thing that I would want you to open is pretty important for our course, is just write python, and it should even open the python, and you could see that the prompt has changed. Now there are three greater than signs, which is the prompt for python interpreter. So this is how you know that it's a python code running, right? You would able to see python, the version 3.10.4, and everything. You, it also says type help and everything. Okay, let's quit. And now we are back to the prompt. So this was a very short intro. To be honest, on terminal there are so many things that you need to learn regarding terminal or command prompt, but once you learn it, I can guarantee you that it would save you time, first of all, and not only save you time, but it makes your task very easy. So we are usually very used to our GUI based navigation and opening up things, but once you get used to the terminal, it would actually help you a lot in terms of the control that you would have and the speed, the time you would save, right? And it would be actually essential for our later tasks that we would want to do. So that's why I wanted to introduce just some basic stuffs on command prompt. So just play with it, and the more you play with it, the more you will learn, right? So hopefully we have learned something new. Okay guys, so see you next time with something new in this series of video where I would teach you about different things in Python and data science. So until then, keep learning and like, share and subscribe if you like this content. Thank you. Bye bye.